guys, today's a really exciting day. It is our first video of the At Home Arts programme. I hope you're all enjoying isolation so far and keeping yourself sane. Today we're going to start with a really easy sort of tutorial that a lot of children have probably tried before. We're going to be using a cool sort of mixed media idea where we're going to be testing out how different materials that you might use in your artwork behave with each other and how that affects the way that your piece turns out in the end. I hope that it's a really interesting thing that you can do with your kids at home, or that it's something you can sort of adapt a little bit to be more interesting to your own children. Not all children are the same. We're also going to be giving some really interesting tips that you can use if you don't have all the materials that we use in our video today. We're going to start off easy. Today's video is going to be using materials that you are most likely to have in the house if you have got young children who do arts and crafts. So we're going to start off nice and easy and go a little bit back to the basics with what we've got. I hope you enjoyed this video and let's get started. This activity is great for helping kids understand how you can use more than just one type of material to make one piece of artwork. It's also great for helping them to understand how different materials behave with each other. So we're going to start off by taking some wax crayons and drawing out our image under the sea. These ones are just regular wax non-toxic crayons and they're available in our children's art supplies packages that you can order online on our website. Here we're including some seaweed at the bottom so we can show where the top and bottom of our picture are. Try to speak to your child about ways that they might show this. It could be with sand, it could be with little houses that are inspired by something they might have seen on SpongeBob, for example. Or it could be the way that the bubbles rise to the top of the painting, showing that they're rising to the top of the sea. Try to encourage your children to involve some sort of life here. It could be anything from a mermaid to an underwater alien to your regular fish and octopus like what we've put. If you've got quite young children, it could be a good idea here to speak about the different types of animals that are under the sea. We used an octopus so that we can count the 8 tentacles. You can also do this with your children by asking them to draw a certain amount of bubbles rising to the top or a certain amount of seaweed at the bottom. I was working in a primary school, a young boy did this exercise and he drew a stormtrooper helmet at the bottom of the sea. When I asked him why he included this instead of regular sea life, he explained that it had fallen there after the fall of the Empire because Star Wars has a script at the beginning that says, "A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away." I really like to encourage this sort of imagination, especially when it comes to artwork and children's artwork, because you can see how their mind is making links between tiny details like the text at the beginning of this film. If your child comes up with something a little weird or out of place, try to speak to them about it and see where it's coming from. If you're just using this activity as something fun to do on a weekend, don't worry too much about what your child's thinking is or what it is. Just allow their imagination to run wild and encourage the creativity. If you're using our video as part of your at-home learning, try to get your child to communicate with you why they're putting images where they are, why they're placing them in certain places, and why they choose those specific objects to include. Next, we're going to take some water and we're going to dilute some paint in this. This can work with any paint at all, it really doesn't matter. Here I'm just using a really old watercolour paint. Next, we're going to take a paintbrush and we're going to lightly wash this watercolour paint all over the picture. The wax from the crayon is hydrophobic, which means the water will just run off it quite easily. The background of the picture will be left with this lovely watercolour effect. If you don't have any paint, you can always substitute this with some blue food colouring. It shouldn't take long for the paint to dry because it is mainly water. When it is dry, you can add extra little bits to your picture if you want to really make it stand out. You could use sand at the bottom to give a 3D effect to the ground part of your picture. Here, we're scrunching up little parts of tissue paper and sticking them inside the treasure box to give the gold a 3D effect. So I hope you enjoyed this first video. It was a first run and it's rough, so any comments or any sort of advice on what you think we could change or anything you want to see us try to make or give tutorials on to help you make them, please leave us some comments on our social media, drop us a direct message on any of our social media platforms. We are creating these videos pretty much constantly between now and if ever the lockdown ends, so we will constantly be looking to change things up and keep them interesting for you, and it's very much going to be viewer led. So we really appreciate anyone's feedback. But until then, we'll be posting another video tomorrow which is tailored towards a more mature audience, so this is for children from about 12 years old up to adult age. Things that you can do at home more for relaxation. And then next week we will be uploading our video on Wednesday for younger audiences to follow. If you did try out this tutorial or you tried out something a little bit similar, please be sure to take pictures. We love seeing everything that the kids are doing at home, especially if it's something that we've helped to inspire even a little bit. Tag us online on our social media. We'll add all the links to the video so that you can find us on Instagram and Facebook. But until then, stay safe, stay at home, and I hope you have a very good rest of your week.